welcome to another episode of Now That's Debatable. I'm your host, Sidney Smith, with my two co-hosts, my two brothers. There in the middle, vape coming out of his nose, Deon Curry. Big brother over there, big brother almighty, Warren B. Hall on the other end. What is good, fellas? How are you?
Good, good.
I'm
Good.
great, brother. How
Good.
are you?
I am good. Hey, everybody, we know that normally your Mondays don't get cracking until we come on. But this week, your Wednesday doesn't get cracking until we come on. So here we are. We got a great show lined up and ready, set to go. Thank you guys for being here today who could be here. Hopefully, a few of you could come out and join us on Wednesday night and join in the celebration of conversation. Want to thank our podcast listeners on Apple and Stitcher and iHeart and so on and so forth. Thank you guys for supporting the way that you do. Again, I want to remind you guys to share the podcast with some other friends if you enjoy the show, because we enjoy doing it for you. We got a great show lined up for you. We're going to get into some high school graduation nonsense. We're going to get into some Tanner Cross in North Carolina nonsense. Oh, we got a lot of good stuff. Getting ready to go off here. Shandis, Katie Horgan, Cammie, Kathleen, thank you guys for being a part of that tier on our Patreon. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Patreon has not really grown a whole lot in quite some time, but I am thankful for those who have committed to us in that way. You help us produce this show each and every week, so thank you guys for that. If you do want to become someone who does support the show in that way, it doesn't take a whole lot of money. Just go ahead and go to patreon.com/ Sidney Smith Creative, and you're going to want to spell creative, CRE8TIV. All right, with all that said, let's get the show on. I know Warren said during the pre-show that he had a little story he wanted to share. So Warren,
First off, Sexy Smith Syndicate would probably pull in a lot more people if
Okay.
you change the name to Sexy Smith
can
Syndicate.
you let
I
people
won't
know
buy
how
that.
long you've been on this Sexy Smith Syndicate thing? How long you been on
Doesn't it
this?
sound great? Listen, the Sexy Smith Syndicate. It rolls off the tongue.
I don't like the
Sexy
way it
Smith.
sounds in my ear when you say
Well, you could think of Mrs. Smith. You don't have to think of Mr. Smith.
Are you out of
See?
your
So
mind?
still,
Are
it.
you out of your mind?
Whoa! I'm
I'm
like,
I'm trying
I
to help
see
you
why
grow.
they call
You said
that
you wanted to
hump
grow.
day.
You wanted
This is the last time we do a show on a fucking Wednesday.
See. Also, do we own Celebration of Conversation? That was nice.
Yeah, I like that.
I
I like
well,
That
that.
was
yeah,
nice.
I'm buying
That's
that
on a
right now.
T-shirt right there.
I'm buying that right now. I'm
You
buying
know,
that right
you
now.
know who I see
No,
wearing that? Mrs. Smith. I'm
Okay.
playing. I'm playing.
I'm gonna tell you what, something.
Let's move.
I've never been anything but respectful about your beautiful
I am not
creamy
disrespecting your
skinned
lovely
wife.
I am not. Give yourself an applause break.
When you ain't around, I call her Oil Olay when you're not around. All right, War, what's up with your story, you terrible person?
Oh, the story. I'm sorry. I wanted to say was so every now and then in life you need a little bit of redemption. You need just a little, not a lot, just a little to keep you going. So a couple weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, Dion was there. Dion was in the car when this woman hit it. Right, my convertible, my baby,
I remember
the
that.
comedy car, and I've been chasing these people to do what they're supposed to do since then. The woman gave me her information. It's USAA that's dropping the ball. So I called them a couple weeks ago. They go, oh, someone will call you next week. Another week goes by, someone will call you next week. So I call yesterday, and I start the conversation by saying, hey, I'm a little frustrated, just so you know, coming in, blah, 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 XYZ. Here's where we're at. I just want to know what I'm supposed to do. And this dude is such a dick from the beginning.
At
And it's
USAA.
like, yes, yes.
Okay.
So even though I think when I start with, hey, I'm frustrated because of this, I think they'll go, you know what, sir, I'm so sorry that happened. Let's turn that around. Let's make that happen. Bob. Instead, he's like, yeah, well, you didn't call us back with the estimates. I'm like, what estimates? He's like, the estimates. I go, I know what you're saying. Did you get the estimates? And I go, what estimates? And he goes, did you get the estimates? And I go, you repeating it isn't going to help me understand. I don't know what you're talking about. Did you get the estimate? Now I'm mad. I go, dude, why are you repeating it the same? Are you trying to push? But why would you say
Yes.
this like this? He goes,
Yes.
I'm asking you a yes or no question. I'm like,
Whoa.
let's start over. Let's try to start over. So this is me. I've said let's try to start over, and he still wouldn't take it. Still a douche about it, and wouldn't give me the information. So we go through what we go through, and I go, well, how's this? Now, how about we're at the part where you give me your manager's number? Oh, well, I don't know what manager. Oh, well, anybody will be good. Just give me the name. Well, I don't have a name. I don't know who'll get it, but they'll contact you in 28 to 48 hours. I go, okay. And Brooke's in the car next to me. Second I hang up, she goes, you know he's not going to call his manager, so you got to call back right now. So I was like, all right. So I call back. Guy answers. A different guy answers. It gives me the information I'm asking for. No fluff. No nothing. I said, yeah. And this guy said he didn't know which manager. He goes, oh yeah, Deborah's his boss. I'm like, oh really? Deborah's his boss. So Deborah, okay. So she goes, but he was telling the truth. It will take 48 hours. Blah 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 blah. An hour and a half later, who calls me?
Deborah.
Deborah. She starts out, hey, this is Deborah from USAA. She goes, let me start with first saying, I listened to the call, and I am so sorry. And it was like, that's just what I needed, that little. And then she broke it down and said, he did this, he did this. She goes, the horrible part was you told him, let's start over. And he still wouldn't start over. So she goes, Thursday, we're going to have that meeting, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, at that point, that's all I needed. That's all I needed was someone to go, he was a little off his rocker, and that's not how we're supposed to talk to people. And it wasn't on me. They dropped the ball. So
You should have asked her, what's the estimate of him getting in trouble? Can you give me the
hilarious.
estimates?
Hilarious. That's what I want her to say to him. What's the estimate of you keeping your job? What? What's the estimate?
I want to share a story that's similar to yours. My little brother got married a few years ago. He's up in San Francisco area. We stayed at a hotel at San Mateo, very nice hotel, and we're having a great time that first day. We're supposed to be up there for 3 days, 4 days max. And on the day of the wedding, I go up, I get dressed, I get ready so I can go. Tamara's doing her thing. Actually, I'm in the shower, actually. I'm trying to remember the story here. I'm in the shower, the door opens up. I think it's Tamara. It is not Tamara. It is another woman who walked into our room. Tamara's getting dressed at the time. Okay. So Tamara's calling on the phone, and Warren will get this. Tamara's on the phone as I'm getting out the shower with the front desk, but she has that tone like my husband is coming down there to fuck you up. And so, you know, when they talking you into some shit, you ain't even got into the situation yet. So I come out, I'm like, what's going on? She tells what happens. That's all right. Let me throw something on. I go downstairs. I talk to the guy at the front desk. And he's trying to act like it was nothing. Come to find out later that day, that actually the next day I find out, they had actually given 5 keys away to other people's rooms. So it wasn't just our room. Talking to the guy, he says, well, I can't do anything about it. I'll just come see me tomorrow. I said, okay, I'll come see you tomorrow. First thing next morning, I go down, this is the day after the wedding. I made sure I didn't drink too much so I wouldn't be hung over when I go to, that's how upset I was about this. I go to talk to him. He is acting like I'm bothering him. In fact, he says I'm harassing him. He tries to hand me some coupons for the breakfast buffet. I threw them back at him. I don't want any damn tickets to your damn breakfast buffet, bro. You had my wife in there getting dressed. You could have handed that key to anybody. And what if I wasn't in the room? He says, well, that's why we always say that you should keep your door locked. Oh, so now it's my fault that someone else with a key they weren't supposed to have that came in. I said, what if I'm not in the room and they come in the room? How am I supposed to keep the door locked then?
Lock the door.
So
But
we have a rope ladder.
Right.
Use the rope ladder.
So
they use the key to get in.
I have my brother to my right, Thomas to my left, and he grabs the phone. He says, "Sir, I'm going to call the police." And I go over this desk. I said, "I'm about to give you a reason to call the police." And then that's when my brother steps in. Whoa! Let us take it from here. And I walk away to calm down. Tamara takes her creamy skin over there and dresses them down so badly. And another manager comes over from food and beverage and gets dressed down that they waived the cost of our entire trip from the hotel. Because Tamara said, she said, really all we wanted was an apology. But you guys, now I want all of my money back, and I'm staying the last night, and I'm not paying for that either. And they were like, yes, man, fine, whatever you want. And that was that.
Did you get breakfast?
Pick up them tickets.
Give me them goddamn coupons.
But It just this dude just bothered because you asked me to come back the next day. How you gonna ask me to come back the next day and then act like I'm horrific? Because you didn't expect me to come back the next day?
I
Right.
love it. This matches up with my wait one more thing so perfectly. So I'm glad that you guys did this. You guys had no idea what my wait one more thing was going to be, but oh, is it going to fit your
All right.
guys'
Was
story?
it? Does it have something to do with
Fun.
marrying white women so they can handle all of the upfront stuff? All right. Enough stories. Let's get into the show. Thank you guys for joining us. I want to remind you, as Deon reminded all of us a few weeks back, if you're enjoying anything, thumbs up, heart emoji, crying, laughing emoji. If you hate anything we're saying, give us that angry emoji as well. Just kind of let us know what's going on there. Caleb says, "What's up? What's good, my guy?" Caleb, when do you head off to boot camp? Because you signed up for the Navy, I believe, if I am correct. So let me know when you heading off to boot camp, my friend. Kathleen says, "Happy hump day." Happy hump day to you, Kathleen. Kathleen, I'm loving seeing all the pictures of you smiling. Glad to see that you are doing well in post-op. So let's give you an applause break for that. She says, "Well, they are saying Sid sounds like Butter, so you know." Hey, you're right. That is my new nickname, Butter. Someone sent something in from my other podcast, my true crime one. Said Sidney's voice smells like butter, so now that is my nickname.
His voice smells like butter.
That too. Better,
Mr. Lando Lathan.
better
Give
than,
it up.
better than margarine. Someone here says, "What up, doe?" That is somebody from Detroit. So what up, doe, to you. Tony Mack says, "Is Warren B. Hall going to have to smack a snitch?" You know he will.
Retired.
Warren will never live down these Hands of Fury stories. He'll be 80 years old and Tony Mack will still be giving him grief.
The B
You didn't
stands
see
for
the look.
backslap.
You didn't see the look on Dion's face when he came out and goes, "Why'd you do that?" And I thought he was going to be like, "Man, that wasn't right." He goes, "Why'd you do that?" "I wanted to hit him."
Yes, he one up me.
My sister Kat Merrill is on. What is going on, Kat? She says, "Tamara is savage. Everyone thinks she's so sweet and innocent, but she would take you down." Right. Tamara's the Smurf. I call her a Smurf. Tamara's the Smurf that you never got to see that much because they kept her up in the mushroom on the back part of the village. All right.
South side of Smithville.
Southside Smurf. All right, let's jump into the show real quick. We got a couple things here that I cannot wait to blaze. This first one, we're starting out with this first one because I talked to my big brother Almighty here, Warren B. Hall, earlier. He said, "We got to talk about this kid." I said, "What kid?" "The kid in the flag." "What kid in the flag you talking about? You haven't seen the kid in the flag?" "No." So I look it up real quick. I start going through the story, and I start getting infuriated just from skimming the story while I was on
Reading
the phone.
title.
I was so infuriated. I said, "Wait a minute, let me read the whole thing first, and then let me decide if I'm going to be upset about this." And then Warren B., you know what happened? I read it, and I was so infuriated about the story.
We were like an episode of Seinfeld. "You didn't hear the kid? What about the kid? You didn't hear the kid? Do you notice the kid?"
So everybody's caught up with us. The story is about Ever Martinez Lopez, age 18, who was, and we're not gonna sugarcoat this. He was denied his diploma by his high school. They can say in the article that, as they're quoted, he was not denied because of this flag. He was denied because of the flag. There was no other reason. So he showed up for graduation, cap and gown on, but he decided he was going to wear a Mexican flag over his gown. He was clearly out of dress code, obviously, and they refused to give him his diploma. He had to go back and get it at a later date once they figured it all out. I know what I feel about it. That is the story. I'm not trying to be cavalier about it. That is the story. Kid shows up for graduation. Kid has cap and gown on. Kid decides, "I'm going to wear a Mexican flag over my cap and gown." School says, "You cannot do that, so we will not be giving you a diploma today." School gets, I believe, up to 10 separate phone calls, including some where they are threatened with violence. School says, "Okay, Mr. Lopez, go ahead and get your diploma. We wish you a nice life." Warren, you brought this story to my attention. What is your thoughts on this young man?
Honestly, I wasn't mad. I understand a dress code's a dress code. I wasn't mad. I'm actually going to go to the comments. Kathleen K said, "Graduation should be a celebration of anything that isn't disrespectful to others and should be allowed."
It's a celebration.
That's a wide gamut, and unfortunately, everybody is bothered by something. No matter what, oh, you wore your hat, oh, you wore your tassel sideways. People get mad about everything, so someone's gonna be mad. Um, I don't think they should have. I think they should have said, "Hey, take it off, go back through," and then gave it to him then. So I was surprised that they didn't allow him the whole day.
Deon?
It's frustrating to me that we stick to these stupid, stringent traditions. It's a celebration. Everybody's there supposed to be happy. The flag didn't hurt anybody. The kid was proud. You're proud that he graduated. You're proud that he loved his community and represent Mexico in a positive way. What's the like out of all the things to pick an issue with? What's the problem? What is the problem? Well, we got to set standards and regulations and blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants to wear the stupid cap. Nobody wants to wear the stupid gown. Teachers hate going to these damn things because they take 2 hours. No, it's a waste of money, first of all, because you have to buy the cap and gown. They don't even issue the cap and gown. Give me my goddamn diploma. I don't want to come back to the school after I done graduated. Fuck all. Especially with this attitude y'all have, it's ridiculous. And not to deny the kid his diploma just because he was wearing the flag. Come on, man. Be the bigger person. Let the kid be happy. Like, pick your battles. This was such a stupid thing to get publicity over and to make it a bigger deal than it needed to be. Like, just hand him his diploma. He's not coming back. So now you got to deal with the fallout of this. Like, what? Why?
You done?
Go ahead.
You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
This wasn't even going to be part of my argument, but you said something I must take exception to. First of all,
what? Me? Say something you take exception to? No way.
First of all, graduation is a huge deal for a lot of kids. And for a lot of those kids, they like wearing the cap and gown, such as I fucking did. I enjoyed wearing my cap and gown. But that's not even my whole point. My whole point, one, they should have removed this kid immediately. He should have never been in the building wearing this stupid flag over the top of his cap and gown. Your cap and gown represents the school that you went to. You should wear that with some type of pride. Now, if you want to wear something Mexican flag with Mexican flags on it, put a fucking t-shirt on underneath your cap and gown, and then you can display that after graduation. I'm sick and tired of people not understanding that certain things need to stay as they are, and this is one of them. You are not special. This kid is not special. No other kid who decides to wear a strawberry shortcake fucking flag next year is special. I'm going to tell you where they went wrong, is that they gave this kid this diploma and they were nice about it. I'd have threw that shit over the fence out into the street. You want your diploma? Go get it. Because you know what I'm not going to have? I'm not going to have little Susie May coming here next year wanting to wear some fucking flag that has the little baby Yoda on it and think that, oh, I'm a Jedi, so I should be able to do this, and I have Star Wars. Learn to know where you fit in. This is not the time. This is pure not. This is where the nonsense is at. No, this whole thing is pure. Of all days for you to decide to throw a flag on, this is the day you're gonna throw the flag on.
Wait, Deon, wait.
Completely asinine. You guys go ahead. Let's go ahead and go back and forth on this one. I'm gonna go back and forth on it.
Your same exact words. It's 1950 something. I'm a white man. We don't need to let her on.
You guys love to do this. You guys love to do this. You guys love to do this. How on earth?
And then some little Aunt Jemima comes walking down thinking she can do whatever she wants to do.
You know what, Warren? Just because you use your little funny voice doesn't mean you're not being a little bit of an asshole. All right? So don't get all offended. Don't get offended when I get on you.
You just did that.
You knew you get that. Don't.
You said a stupid flag and just put a t-shirt on. I did what you did.
No, you didn't, because you didn't even make the same argument. You are, yes, you. Hold on 1 second, please. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, jump in, but 1 second. I'm gonna get on Warren over here, who always acting like he's being bullied every time I come at him. But now he wants to talk to me with the funny voice. You're not even making the same argument. You're doing what Deon normally does, and you're taking the orange and putting it in a barrel of fucking apples and trying to tell me you're selling me a whole bush of apples. You are not. That is not the same thing.
You did get a bush of apples with one orange in it.
You said was the same exact thing they said about putting black kids into school with white kids. They didn't want anything to change. They didn't want other kids to think they could do this.
You're
That's
not
literally
special.
the same thing they said.
So Okay, Deon, go ahead. Go ahead.
So here, your argument is we got to keep it the same because of tradition. And I'm asking you, what got hurt during the ceremony? Did anybody, did anybody's hard work that they put in over the 4 years get ruined because this kid wore a Mexican flag? No, there were no negative consequences to this kid wearing the flag. Nobody's feelings were hurt. Nobody was offended.
I'm
No one
offended.
was
I'm offended.
clearly because you're a Republican, and we
I'm,
all
I'm
know how
offended.
y'all feel about Mexicans. So it's so ridiculous to me that you would argue that tradition is this most important thing and blah blah blah. Like he's not special to his community. He's special.
Then wear
To
your
his
flag
parents,
over
he's
there.
special.
Wear your flag over there in your community when you get back to your block
You should
at
be
your
allowed
your
to
graduation
wear
party.
your flag wherever you like. And like
Oh
I said,
my God.
nothing changed. The ceremony didn't get delayed. There was nobody hurt. So there was no need to make it a bigger issue than what it was. If one kid wants to wear a Mexican flag one day, and then the next kid wants to wear the Pan African flag the next day, and then the next kid wants to wear the Confederate flag the next day, you think they're gonna have a problem with that in North Carolina? They're not.
And you know what? Kathleen made a great point. For everybody who graduated from high school and college for that matter, you know that you are allowed to do different things with the top of your cap to show some type of individual. There was no reason to wear an entire flag over your gown. No reason for it. No reason for it. No reason.
Why was there no reason? His parents immigrated from Mexico. He was the first one to graduate from American high school in his family. He's celebrating his Mexican pride, and he didn't hurt anybody.
Do that shit at home.
He can do it wherever he likes.
No, he can't. Obviously, he can't.
Because you say so.
Look,
who are you?
So
Who are
you're
you
lucky I wasn't. He's lucky I wasn't running the school.
No, you're lucky. You're lucky.
They got that diploma in pieces.
Because this little itty bitty thing that you're blowing way out of proportion.
I'm not blowing it out of proportion. Every time I disagree with you, you think I'm blowing it out of proportion.
No,
I will be fine later on.
You just said this kid has to fit in a box. Right? Everybody's telling people you got to fit in this box, you got to conform, you got to assimilate, you got to do it our way, or you can get the fuck out of here. I'm going to take your diploma and throw it across the street.
You know what? I can't wait for this next topic because I'm going to kick that right in the ass for this one. Go ahead.
You know who you sound like? Do you know who you sound like? Do you know who would be cheering you on right now?
Why don't you and Warren tell me who I sound like? I see Warren shaking his head at me, and you over here giving this nonsense. Go right ahead. Attack me again. Why don't you?
You sound like George Wallace. Segregation then, segregation now, and segregation forever.
Is that right, George Wallace? This is what I talk. This is what I talk about with you two all the time. You guys never stay on the same track. You guys jump to a completely other track. You guys never ever. Let me go to some comments.
I literally used your own words.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
They made
no,
back in the day.
No,
how did I not?
Wasn't even close to the same.
You got angry at the impression. I said what you were saying.
I got angry at the way that you were saying it, War, because what you do is you try to make me look like the bad guy, and then you come in with your little funny faces and your little funny voices and do your head like this.
The funniness, that was you taking it personal. The funniness is supposed to be the fact that I said Aunt Jemima, because you said some other kid's name, some other kid name, whatever. So I was being funny saying Aunt Jemima. So you didn't get the joke that I was making. You took that personal, way more personal than I meant it, and for that, I apologize because I wasn't attacking you like that.
And there it is. That's what I needed right there. That's what I expected to happen right there. The emperor should always get apologies on the show. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Let me go to some comments here. Just teasing. I'm not teasing about what I mean. I mean, this kid boy, you're lucky I wasn't in charge over there.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely. You get mad over nothing.
There'll be some
so mad.
I'm not even mad.
How dare they sit at the lunch counter? How dare they try to
now I'm about to get mad because you won't again off the fucking track. All right.
Where does it stop?
Davizi says I got kicked out of graduation for cheering for my homeboy when they called his name. So I can see how petty they get at these things. All right.
And did you yell yay or did you yell something crazy?
Davizi, what was the cheer like? And did they give you guys any type of rules ahead of time about
I'll tell
decorum
you
at
what
the
happened.
graduation? I like to know.
When my little brother graduated college, they tried that. Please hold your applause to the end, but we
Right.
seize, right? We seize. So we're not waiting. We're not waiting until Z gets up off the stage. No, when they called my little brother's name, you best believe who was cheering loud and proud. And I dare somebody to say something. And guess what happened? Didn't nobody say shit. You know why? Because everybody was proud of their
Because
person
that
who
makes it right.
graduated.
Because that makes it right. You're
It don't
asking
make it
not to do
wrong.
something, and you
Yeah,
decide
can
I'm gonna do
ask.
whatever I
You
want,
can
and that makes it
ask.
right.
You can ask. You always have the right to ask.
Okay, all right.
Right? You always have the right to ask. You can ask whatever you want. I'm gonna ask you to stop yelling in my ear, but I know you're not gonna do
First of all, when you
it.
decide that you're gonna stop yelling on the show, I may decide to go along with it.
There can only be one.
That-
I'm the last
What-
Highlander. You're the emperor. I'm the
I
Highlander.
got a plane ticket. I'm coming to cut your head off at 2:00 in the morning. So-
I won't be here.
all right. Facebook user says he knew it would be a problem. He wanted the attention. I am not too far along with going along with you there, Facebook user, whoever that is. Facebook user says, coming from an Army veteran, there are
That's
rules.
Ricky.
Ricky. Hey, Ricky. What's going on, Ricky?
And
Ricky's-
then this one you're about to read is Danae.
Okay, Danae. Danae says, coming from an Army veteran, there are rules that were published, and if not following them, then you don't get to walk. Absolutely. I love it. You should not get to walk. You should have not walked. Tony Mack says, aren't there some cords or some type of sash that could be a good alternative? Good point, Tony. I don't know. And you know what else? I don't care.
let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a cord and a flag? They both represent the exact same thing. So your problem is the size? That's stupid.
No, the problem is not staying within the rules that you are given. That's the problem. And don't try to jump out and say anything about Rosa Parks and about racism and George Wallace. The problem is you are graduating from high school. This is a proud moment. It's not just your day, Mexican student. It is also the day of all the other students who are graduating too.
did he
It's
raise
not your.
his flag?
It is not your day for you to think, "Lo, everybody look over here. What's his name again? And look at me, Martinez Lopez." This is not your day. This is also why they ask you to hold your applause to the end of the graduation, so that one, they can get through the graduation, and two, so that certain groups of people just don't think my student, my brother, my cousin, my whatever is more important than the rest of you. So let me hold up the entire ceremony while we over here clap it up and whoop and holler, so on and so forth. There's a time and place for everything. This wasn't the time nor the place for
The
it.
time and place is where you make it time and place.
You
Exactly. If you didn't have a problem with a little dangly thing off the top of his head being the Mexican flag, don't have a problem with the Mexican flag, period. It's ridiculous. That's a stupid argument. Well, he could have just worn something to the side that said the same thing, and I wouldn't be in my feelings about it because it wouldn't be a distraction. But you know what it represents? It's the same thing that the flag represents. So why are you mad? How is it a distraction? The only reason you make it a distraction is because you paid attention to it.
Is that
It
right?
wasn't like
What? I'm sorry. Is he 6 years old and I'm supposed to pretend he's? Don't
he
nobody look at.
interrupt-
Don't nobody look
Did he
at
interrupt
Tommy
the
over here. He's out here running around without his pants on. If we don't look at him,
Did he
he'll go put some
interrupt
pants on.
the
It's not the same
ceremony?
thing. Say
Did
again?
he interrupt the ceremony? Yes or no? Did
Obviously he
interrupt the
did.
ceremony?
Obviously
No,
he
didn't.
did.
No.
Did he get his
didn't.
diploma?
No, he got it the next day.
Okay.
The principal was bothered by it, but he got it the next day because all the other kids rallied for him to get it because they
He
weren't
got
giving
it.
to him.
He got it the next day because some people were calling in threatening to shoot up the school. That's why he got that diploma.
But what I'm saying is, you were saying how other people were offended. It was all the kids, because that was what the video that started off with. It was all the kids in the hallway yelling at the principal, "Give him his diploma."
Oh, okay. Yes, this is, and the next time that the little ones want ice cream at 1:00 in the morning, even though you said it's time to go to bed, Warren, make sure you whip out the Haagen-Dazs and the Ben and
Did
Jerry's.
they earn it? Did they do their schooling to get that Haagen-Dazs? Did they earn it? This kid earned it. You're acting like he didn't earn it.
You didn't.
Okay. He didn't go to school. He didn't do math. He didn't do gym.
Did
He didn't do
Did
English,
he
didn't do
show
reading.
up the way he was supposed to for graduation?
Yeah.
So
You know what?
did
He
one
can get
thing
his.
different than
You
did.
can
He
get your
should've-
diploma. You can get it over there outside. Wait till afterwards. Wait till after the ceremony. You can get it then. Sure.
Right. I'm not
Sure.
saying that's wrong. What I'm saying is why bring all this backlash over something that is not a big deal? If you were okay with it dangling from his cap, what's the difference between it being draped over his shoulders. There is no difference.
Let me get to.
It's ridiculous to be mad about the flag, but then say do it in another way that makes me feel
That's
that's dumb.
that's right.
That's dumb.
That's
That
right.
just
Because
kicks the can.
that's
It's
right. Because
ridiculous.
that's what the world is like. Is where you get to go and make the rules up as you go along, no, regardless of the rules that are given to you. That's
Oh,
what the
are we
especially.
talking?
That's
Are we
that's what the
talking about
world's
who?
like. That's what the world's
Are we
like.
talking about who
Excellent.
follows the rules in the world and who sets the rules? Is
That's
is
what
that the road you want
is
to get
that-
down? Is that the train you want to
Oh,
hitch your wagon to?
Oh,
Really?
you mean when you go get it when you go get a job and they give you a list
He
of rules
wasn't
for the
getting a
no
job.
no no
He
no.
wasn't
You just
getting a
asked me a
job.
question. I'm
He
answering the
wasn't
question for
getting
you.
a job.
You just asked me a question, didn't you?
You're changing the argument.
No.
He wasn't getting a job. He
Oh,
already had
wait a
job.
minute. Wait a
He
minute.
already had a job.
Warren brought up racism. You brought up George Wallace. Y'all get to change the argument, but I don't.
I
We're
didn't
not
change the
changing
argument.
the
It was the same argument.
And I'm making the same one in rebuttal to what you just said, Deon. You just
No,
asked me
you're
what I
not.
want to hitch
You're
my
saying-
wagon to.
Yeah, you're saying that he needs to follow the rules. He did follow the rules. He went to school 4 years. He did the work. He earned his diploma. He went to go get it, and you told him no.
I'm glad
'cause
you
were
didn't
mad
repeat it.
about
I'm
something.
glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't repeat what you just said 30 seconds ago. Let's go to the comments. Kathleen says, "I understand Sid's point, but it should be special." Okay, let's not go to the comments. You didn't hear what he said, Warren. You didn't hear what he said.
I did hear what he said.
Okay.
We need a little bar of your blood pressure. You're wild about this. I
I'm not
understand
wild
you're
about this.
passionate, but you seem like you seem wild about it.
Well,
You
seem and what I am are two different things.
All right.
You seem like you know what you're talking about, but in reality, you wrong as hell.
Okay, let's go to some comments here. Kathleen K says, "I understand Sid's point, but it should be special, and it should let them have some self-expression. Give them some parameters to have self-expression. Then if they don't want them, then they don't have to wear a flag. Let them decorate their caps or something." Cat says, "I think that he could have decorated his cap. The gown is a unifier." Facebook user says the graduates could wear stoles instead. Let's see here.
That's Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Michelle.
Let me scroll down a little
Hola,
bit
Michelle.
here. Caleb says, "That's why I got my GED." Laugh my fucking ass off. Well done, Caleb. Congratulations on that, sir. Let me scroll down here through a few more here. Facebook user says the stoves come in colors and varieties of groups: BLM, African tribal colors, gay pride. I like that idea. If that's something that's allowed, Facebook use. I'm not sure who that is.
I gotta
was
ask you,
Michelle
Sidney.
again.
Did you realize in the bigger picture that we agreed with you? We just said why such a big deal. We agreed this was the rules and it was supposed to go this way. Did you realize that we both said that, but we wondered why was this the biggest line in the sand?
What?
I'm asking.
Why was what the biggest? Him wearing the flag?
No, I'm asking you, did you understand that we're not disagreeing with you on the fact of that was
No.
the rule, he wasn't supposed to do that?
No, I understand that we possibly started out close to agreeing, but when you bring up things like Rosa Parks and the bus, and our little brother in the middle brings up George Wallace, now you lend yourself to not agreeing with me.
Did they not say that with Rosa Parks? What you were saying about how stay in your place, stay in your lane, know where you're supposed to be.
How do you take?
Did they not say that?
No,
I'm
no, no.
asking you, did they
How
say
do
that?
you take? How do you jump from this to that? How is it even?
I'm
How is it
asking
even
you a
possible?
question. Isn't that the same rhetoric
I'm-
they were
I'm-
using at the time of Rosa Parks?
Is this what we're
that
doing?
Not the same. I'm
Okay.
asking you. Was that the same?
So is it the same?
Did you give him the estimates? Did you get the estimates?
I'm asking.
I feel. Who gave the key to my hotel room? That's what I feel like right now.
I'm admitting we shouldn't be in your room, but now that we're in the room, that was the same stuff they said. Then that's all I was saying. I couldn't help but see the similarities in what you were saying about stay in your place and know the rules and this, that, and the other. And back in the day,
I'm gonna say this. So people think I'm irate. I'm upset. When we're having a conversation about a young man who wore a Mexican flag to his high school graduation, I don't know how you jump all the way to this other side of the moon to bring Rosa Parks and sitting on the back of the bus into this. saying because you tell this kid that you need to wear the outfit that everyone else is wearing, because that is the rule, that is the tradition. It's the same thing as telling this black woman who worked hard all day, who has no civil rights, that she has to ride on the back of the bus. This is
Now,
what
how could I
infuriates
say
me
she worked
because
hard all day?
one
You just said
does.
this kid didn't do his schooling. He said he went to school and he earned it, and you said no, he
Are
didn't.
you
So now
comparing?
you're saying that she's working hard. No, she wasn't. See, we could do the same thing. I'm
Who?
just saying those were the same things. Those were the same comparisons. What you said was the same stuff they said back in the 50s.
So, are you comparing Ever Martinez Lopez's situation to Rosa Parks in that situation of the 50s?
I am not. I am saying that the words that you were using were the same words they used in the 50s to describe something else where we were told to stay in our place. It was that line that caught me.
And I'm
This is how it goes.
and
This is
and
how it should go. We shouldn't change.
and I'm going to
That's
say
what caught me.
this. You can go ahead and you can dissect anything I say because you want to parcel out 2 or 3 words and say, "Oh, that sounds like that over there." And so that sounds like this over here when it doesn't. When it doesn't.
To you,
when
it doesn't.
When you
But
know
it
when
does.
you know that it, when you
If
know
take
that
it
I'm not
out to
even
the debaters,
I'm
out
not
to the
even saying.
debaters. Take it there.
What woman take it to the debaters for, Warren? You're not
Because
you're a
we're
smart
the
man.
debaters.
You're a
Because
smart
that's-
man.
So
You
far,
already
they're saying
you
it.
already know that's not what I was saying, Warren. You already know that.
First, time out. When Warren asked you to take it to the debaters, you got to take it to the debaters. That's the point of this show, is to debate things. So don't be afraid to have the master debaters agree or disagree with your point.
They're going to say whatever they say regardless. I don't need to go,
Okay.
"Hey, what do you think there?" They're going to give so don't
and
act
I'm-
like I
and
don't
I'm-
want to
and
take
I'm-
it to them.
I'm telling you, you should take it to them because they are going to let us know, the 3 of us know who they're rocking with, right? That's what part of the things that we want for the show, is it not? I agree with Warren in this instance. You used words that old racist people used for us back in the day. You don't see that. That's fine and dandy with us. I have no problem with you disagreeing with that point. Knock yourself out. However, at the end of the day, you talk about this, he had the uniform on and he added something extra. Did it ruin the ceremony? No. Did it stop anybody else from walking across the stage? No. So the issue of him wearing the flag is only an issue if you point it out. If no one said anything, we would have never known about this kid. He'd have got his diploma and this would not be a story. And that's my point. They took something that didn't need to be made into a point and made it a point for the sake of what? Tradition? Is the next graduating class going to have an issue now that we saw how big of an issue they made this? Had they just ignored something that could have been ignored, there would be nothing to talk about. We would be talking about Candace Owens or something ridiculous that happened in the news. But instead, they made it an issue. He didn't make it an issue. They made it an issue.
Okay, Cedric, look above the picture you're seeing of the 3 of us. You'll see a link. If you want, brother, click that link because you guys are really bothering me tonight. I love each and every one of you, including the 2 guys I'm sharing the screen with, but you guys are really upsetting me with the nonsense that you're saying. Cedric, how do you fix your fingers, let alone your mind, to even think what you typed in? Kaepernick never would have kneeled if it just followed the rules. Just saying, Sid, I would love for you to click that link and jump on. Just click it and jump on because I want to know how you jumped to the other side of the moon and what vehicle you took to get there. Please click that link and jump on in here. Susie Myers, and while we wait for Sid to jump on, we're going to go to Susie Myers Adams here. She says, a Hawaiian girl can't wear a grass skirt. A girl who had a great weight loss can't show up in a bikini. And a Nazi show can't show up in a swastika necklace. The gown is about unity, the same reason we have school colors, school mascots, school teams. Given free reign is chaos in the making. Susie, I agree with all of that. I agree with all that.
Was he only wearing the flag, or did he have everything else that was required? He added something extra, and you're mad about the extra when you could have just ignored the extra. It's not like he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He did fulfill all the requirements, and then he went above and beyond, which is what you hope that your graduates do, go above and beyond. And now you're mad at him? It's a dumb thing to get mad about. It would be different if he didn't have his cap and gown and he was rocking some Timberlands. He wasn't doing that. He had the cap and gown on and he draped the flag over his shoulders. If you ignore it like you should have because it's not a big deal and just gave the kid his diploma, guess what? There's no fucking issue. Nobody's upset. You're not getting threatening phone calls. The thing you did to make it an issue was to acknowledge the thing that he wasn't making an issue. He was just simply proud. And if you ignore it because it didn't hurt anybody and it didn't stop anything, then this wouldn't be an issue. Why are you creating issues because you can't let go of tradition, something
So-
that doesn't, that
so-
does make, it makes no difference.
So let me throw a
what
question to you and
wear.
Warren. Let me throw a question to you and Warren. So let's go ahead because everyone who's been to school knows their rules. Graduation, there's rules. Cap, everyone knows there's rules. So we all know that. So instead of the young man staying within the rules, and I've seen people do this where they wear their favorite team, they wear their favorite color, whatever they decide to do, they wear it underneath and then they broadcast it at the end of graduation. Instead of doing what he should have did and staying within the rules, we should just say, it's okay, you don't have to follow the rules, we'll look the other way because it's no big deal.
That's not what I'm saying.
Why are you punishing a kid you're never going to see again?
That's not what I'm saying.
For
What
what?
I'm saying is
For what?
when he draped it over and he went to walk, someone should have gone up to him and said, "Hey, you can't do that. If you want to get it today, you got to take it off, walk the line, your choice. And if he decides not to, then he decides not to."
That I can agree with, Warren. That I can.
That's how I felt in the beginning, man. I agreed that hey, he shouldn't have done it. Was it a huge deal? To me, it wasn't a huge deal. But yeah,
I think it was.
said
I
from the
think.
beginning.
I think it was a monster. I think it was a monster deal. So you and I disagree there. I think it's a huge deal.
It's the
but-
most
but-
asinine thing to.
But
get
he should have
bent
been
out of
told,
shape.
"We'll hand you your diploma in the parking lot after the graduation if this is how you think you're going to come down."
Right.
Again, why
I don't know
make it an issue?
Why you gotta make me so upset, Warren? I mean, why couldn't you just say?
What are
this?
you talking about? I haven't changed anything.
I'm
I've
just
said
messing with you.
The
I'm
words
just-
you used were still the words they used back then.
Well, go ahead, Deon. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't understand why you make it an issue. Susie Myers says, Deon, the issue isn't a flag, it's a dress code. He was wearing the dress code and then he added something extra. If you ignore it, guess what? He's
You're
still
not wearing a
the
dress
cap-
code. You're not in a dress code then.
Yes, you are. I still have my cap and gown on. If I take it off, you're gonna give it to me? Well, that's stupid. Like it's dumb. It's a dumb thing to make a big deal. There's, like I said, if it was disruptive, if it's halted the graduation, or if it anyway affected all the work he did, then I could understand you making a point. Hey, we can't allow this because X, Y, and Z happens. But the only reason you're mad is because it isn't the traditional guard. Like, that's stupid.
No, it's not the.
It's dumb. It's.
I think I made it very
this
clear.
This is my biggest issue with the whole dress code thing. Did he do all the work he was supposed to do? Yes, he did. What difference does it make what he wore? What if he couldn't afford the cap and gown? You're not gonna let him march?
No.
Again, why? Because you can't get over to. How ridiculous is it to be so stuck in your ways that you cannot recognize that
You see
this
those
isn't
kids.
a hit?
You see all those kids line up in those school colors in that cap and gown. Do you think every kid who lines up in those colors has a silver spoon coming out of their ass? No.
It doesn't.
Those.
What difference
Let me
does that
answer your
make?
question. Those kids take pride, as Susie was putting it earlier. She put it great. Those kids take pride in wearing those school colors at the end of those 4 years. A lot of those kids, again, do whatever they have to, and their parents do whatever they have to make sure that child can walk in those school colors.
Did he stop anybody from walking in their school colors? No, he didn't.
No, he just decided I need to be different on this particular day. Which is not your day. When he gets married, he can wear a Mexican flag tuxedo for all I give a shit.
It is his day. When he
No,
graduates,
it's not. No, it's not his day.
It's everybody's day. It's his
There
day.
it
It's
is,
their
and
day.
there it is, and there it is.
He didn't stop them from graduating.
So-
He didn't stop them from graduating. He didn't stop them from getting their diploma. His
again-
flag didn't stop them from getting their diploma.
Again-
So again, why are you making it an issue? Why are you
Again-
sticking to this tradition when nothing changed?
He would have
If you took the
graduated.
flag-
He would have
if-
picked up
if-
his diploma down the street.
Again, it's a
that's where I threw
non-issue.
it.
I don't understand why you're making it an issue. I
Dion,
really don't.
it seems
Because
like the
he
master
had
debaters may be on my side, and you just can't handle it this
that's
time.
that's fine. That's
You know.
fine. I just, to me, I'm asking what difference does, like, if he wasn't wearing the flag and they call his name and he walks and he hands it to him, yay, we're all happy, right? What, so the flag all of a sudden changes all the work he did? No. So why have an issue that he added something extra?
He can have the
It
diploma.
it didn't hurt anybody.
He can have the diploma. Take it. Sure.
But that was the whole thing was they weren't gonna give him his diploma.
I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But but take your diploma and you get it where you got it. The next day or whatever. How many days was it, Warren? Do you recall how many days from graduation?
I do not, but it was a couple days.
Yeah, sure. Here's your diploma, but you're not getting it today. Not getting it on this day. Susie Meyer says, "Stuck in your ways." The whole flag thing was an invite shut. How long before the lawyers file suit? Kathleen says, "Good point, Deon. Many kids can't afford the cap and gown, and many don't get to participate in graduation as a result. There were a bunch of fundraising campaigns to pay senior fees and cap and gown to make it possible for them to walk in the ceremony."
Again, it's so stupid. You work so hard, and then all of a sudden they tell you, well, you can't participate in this day because you don't look like everybody else. Get the fuck out of, who cares? Who cares? The ceremony didn't get interrupted. That's my point.
Ricky says, "Typical Deon, the rules matter unless he decides they don't."
They don't matter. That rule doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What you wear has nothing to do with whether you completed the work or not. That's what we're supposed to care about, right? Did you get the job done? Did he get the job done? Yes. So, but he's not dressed like everybody else, so all of a sudden the job is invalid? That's fucking retarded.
All right. Well, that's why the show's called Now It's Debatable, because we debate things, and we seldom agree on too much. So so it works. I want to thank our master debaters for joining us tonight. This has been an amazing show. So much fun. I want to thank everyone. Have yourselves I'm just kidding. The show's not over yet. We got one more topic to go. All right. Oh, wait a minute. We got one more person here. So, what did the flag take away from the graduation ceremony? And some rules are outdated and unnecessary. Yet they are rules, person. And I'm gonna call you a person because all I see is Facebook user. But
Rochelle Kent.
Rochelle, hey, Rochelle, what's up? Rochelle, yes.
Now you want to be nice to her.
No. I want to be nice because I know her name. I know her name. Hey, Rochelle, what's going on? But back to my original point. But there are rules, aren't they, Rochelle? You find them outdated, you can say they're unnecessary. But there are rules. And if you can't follow the simplest of high school graduation rules, I don't know about
who
this.
You sound like? You know who you sound like? The SS. Hey, man.
Oh, that's who I sound like. That's who I sound like.
I'm just doing my job, man.
Oh,
Take
my
it up
God.
With my boss, Take it up with my boss, bro.
That's right. That's what I sound like. First it was George Wallace. Now I sound like the SS. Yes. Both. How did you know? Long time when I'm laying in bed, I wish I could join the SS, and I wish George Wallace had fathered me. Oh, it would.
They're remarkably similar in the line of thinking.
Yes,
that's all.
Yes, remarkably. All right. So we're gonna go to our next topic here, where we talk about the suspension has been lifted. What's that? I thought I missed.
He's showing his Capri Sun.
Oh, where the suspension has been lifted on elementary school teacher Tanner Cross in North Carolina, and I want to pull this up, make sure I read straight from it. So pardon me, folks. Here I pull it up on my tablet here. I'm reading from ABC 11 Eyewitness News website. So that's where I'm reading from. Let's see here. I apologize to our podcast listeners for. All right. It says Cross was suspended after he said at a May 25th school board meeting that he could not abide by the proposed rules that would require teachers to address transgender students by their chosen gender. During the hearing, Cross said, "I'm a teacher, but I serve God first, and I will not affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa because it is against my religion. It's lying to a child. It's abuse to a child." Close quote. The school board is considering the new regulations in conjunction with a state mandate requiring all school systems to update their policies on transgender students. The model regulations circulated by the state include a requirement that students be addressed by their preferred pronouns. So, are we in agreement that they should have lifted this suspension? Do we disagree with it? What are our thoughts on Mr. Tanner Cross, the elementary school teacher, gym teacher, saying that he would not abide by the rule and call transgender students by their chosen pronouns because he is a Christian, as he put it, and he does not believe in that. And if I'm quoting him correctly, as I read, it's lying to a child, it's abuse to a child. Warren B., where do you stand on it?
I think it's funny whenever someone wants to throw in it's lying to a child when there are certain days of the year that we all agreeably lie to children, and that's fine. Either you're lying to them or you're not lying to them. Personally, uh, for him, fine. He said it the way I think he should say it. Here's how I feel. Here's what I think. I don't want to do this. So then they take it in their own hands. Me personally, I I again, I know you hate when I see both sides of it, but I see the fact that to me it's not a big deal. If you'd like to be called she, I'll call you she. If your name's Doug, you want to be called Daryl, I'll call you Daryl. That's not a big deal to me. It's not stopping me from teaching you, and it's not stopping me from doing anything. But I also understand him going, well, biologically, this was this. I'm married to a white woman, and I'm sure there's lots of people who have lots of feeling on it, and they're going to say what they want to say, and that's their right. They can say that. Do they care about our background? No, they're just going by what they see. I see he's this, she's that. It's different. It's wrong. It's wrong. You can say it's wrong. You can feel it's wrong, but please be respectful to me. And either you're gonna or you're not. And then those consequences come in there. So I don't know if I danced around this issue or if I answered it for you, but I don't. I'm not mad at the guy for saying what he said because that's how he felt, and he was willing to take the hit for it. So
I want
that's
to
that.
I want to throw this to you, Warren, because Cheryl, thank you for joining us. Cheryl gave us a call a couple of weeks ago, and she's hitting us up via the board here today. But so thank you for joining us and watching. Warren, Cheryl says, and I believe this is in a retort to what you were saying. Big differences between lying about what sex someone is versus holiday characters. Your thoughts on that, there, Warren?
A lie's a lie. We're lying. I'm just saying, don't use that as your example. Then we're lying. We're lying. This guy didn't do the stuff we're telling kids this guy did. It's a lie. This guy didn't give this and that and build this and that. It's a lie. So
Okay.
I'm not fighting you on how you feel about it. I'm just saying it's still a lie.
Why
Cheryl, if
is
you're looking to
one
get
little
anything out of Warren more than that, you're not. I think sometimes Warren
why
argues as if he's taking some anger management classes. So, so you're not getting any more.
why is one little white lie okay and one little white lie not okay? Because your God says it's so. Like that's a stupid argument. Don't. Why would you do that? My this is so funny because now we're talking about the rules are the rules. Should he get his job back? No, he broke the rules. Remember, you can't get your diploma if you're not going to follow the rules. Well, you can't get your job back if you're not going to call this person how they want to be called. Isn't that the argument you just had with me? So now I'm supposed to flip it and be like, no, he should get his job back because he feels, and you're going to say the exact same thing I just got done saying. So I
Who you talking
love
to?
that these topics go
You.
back to back. I'm talking to you
I haven't even
because
said any damn thing. I haven't said a word
I
yet about
I,
it. But
I
go
He's
know,
ahead.
saying
but
what you said previously.
I know, but he's
what I,
saying, but I know what you're going to say of this thing. But go ahead.
what I'm saying is if it's okay to kick the kid out for not wearing the cap and gown and you're mad that he's got the flag on, well then you got to kick this guy out for the exact same reason because he wasn't following the rules. If the rules are the rules and they're not changing because you think you're special and your God says it's so, then guess what? Your God is not in charge here. We are, and these are the rules, and you broke them. We understand how you feel, Mexican kid. We understand how you feel, Nathan Cross. That fine and dandy. But this is how it's gonna go, right? This is how it's gonna go. You got to do this, this, and this. If you don't do this, this, and this, then guess what? You're out of here. That's what you just got done saying to us for about 30 minutes. So here we are, this next situation, and I'm gonna be like, well, should he get his job back because he feels differently? Probably not. If you can't respect the kid enough to call them how they ask you to call them, then you probably shouldn't be a teacher anyway. regardless of what your God tells you, it comes down to love thyself, love thy neighbor. If we're going to put the whole religious doctrine into it, God wants you to be a good person, and you're not being a good person when you disrespect somebody. That point blank period.
So on this one, I'm gonna take God completely out of it because I'm not someone who likes to use God for my argument or against anyone else's argument unless I absolutely have to. But I don't really need to in this argument. He should be suspended. The only reason he is not suspended is because they don't feel like there was enough teach or parents and students causing a ruckus about it. Much like I would say with our last discussion, where you had enough and you had someone saying they're going to shoot up the school if that boy didn't get his diploma. But he should still be suspended because there are rules, and the rules you need to follow them if you want to be a teacher within this particular. Go teach someone else. Teach somewhere else. See, this is how we end up with issues like this. So now you have someone saying, because of what I believe in with my religion, with the God that I follow, I can't adhere to your rules. The person who gives me a paycheck every 2 weeks, then you need to go teach somewhere else. Maybe you need to go teach at a Catholic school someplace. Maybe you need to go teach at a religious private school someplace where they can teach however they want to teach and they won't have this requirement for you. So I'm with the both of you. He should be suspended at minimum. And the only reason he wasn't, and it says it within the article that I was reading, is because there was not enough teachers and enough parents, enough students who caused a ruckus about this. Because I am someone who believes when it comes to sexuality, there's a lot of unanswered questions. And when you have someone who's born a boy or a girl, and that's not what they feel, I don't think society should put on that person and tell them who and what they are. And regardless of what you feel, this is what we're going to call you. So I agree with you, Deon, in this case that he should not have his job.
To me, what I don't understand is it's not hurting him. He's not going to be condemned to hell by calling this person however they wish to be addressed. He's not breaking any of his rules, his religious rule. He's not doing that.
But he is.
He's not.
But
He's
he is.
not though.
He is.
He's not. No, he's not. Because, and I'm going to explain why, right? Because God says, love thy neighbor, love thyself, right? How do you show love? It's not on him to get this person to change. It's on him to do the right thing. The right thing is to treat this person as if he was treating himself. And he wouldn't do this to himself. So why is he doing it to someone else?
And they also teach in the church, it is your job to go out and talk to the...
He said he's told her what she needs to know about his religion. It's up to her to whether she accepts it or not. That's not on him. All he's got to do is spread the gospel. He don't got to make you follow the gospel. He just got to tell you about it. You still have the choice. So he's told his gospel. That's all he needs to do. He doesn't have to do anything else other than say, this is what I believe, this is how I feel, and boom, you are covered.
Warren, thoughts?
I just wonder, what did any of that have to do with algebra?
Exactly.
Or whatever classes he's teaching.
Yeah, gym class. Yeah.
Was it gym?
Yes, he's a gym teacher, and I agree with you.
He's not. He's a babysitter.
Still,
you can get anybody.
Well, no.
Can get anybody.
The only reason I said interesting is because gym class is one of those classes where they try to keep boys and girls separate. So that's something where I could see that coming up and becoming more of an issue because of what if he wants to use the ladies' room and the ladies don't feel comfortable with that. So in gym class, I could see how that can stem into more of an issue. Whereas it was math class, it doesn't change 2 + 2. So gym was the one thing where that comes into play or could come more into play.
I see your point there. Cheryl says, yes, I would want to go teach somewhere else. Facebook user says teachers' jobs aren't to force values on their students. It's about teaching them how to think critically and to make decisions based on what they know and other reliable sources. I see you shaking your head, Warren.
This boy is over here. Nobody. Not today.
Oh, you want some Haagen-Dazs?
That was Michelle that you just read from.
He wanted to say hi.
Oh.
Another day.
That was Michelle. You said Deon. That was who's.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, I go back to that. I agree in whole heart that he should have been suspended. I also can see the reason why they brought him back was because a religious, I'm going to assume a religious right legal group got involved and was going to sue the school district. And going to your point earlier, Dion, they didn't want that smoke and they didn't want the problems that possibly would have come from that from that lawsuit. So they did push back on it, on the suspension based off the fact that they did not have a large group of parents and teachers causing the fuss. Though I forget there was a handful of parents who said they did not want their students coming into contact with that teacher. So
Again,
go ahead.
so again, he made an issue that is a non-issue. Like if we just stop making things a big deal, then we don't have to have these problems. Like it's not a big if she wants to be addressed as he, address her as he, because it's not hurting anybody. Your God is not going to punish you for respecting someone. He's not going to. If your God does do that, then guess what? Maybe you shouldn't be following that God. That goes into a whole nother realm of
Which
stupidity.
you always love to step off into.
It doesn't make any sense. Like if you aren't actively doing the thing that your God told you not to do, you're fine. So again, he's not switching his gender. He's not doing any of that.
So
All he's doing is go ahead.
Cheryl says here, so he told his gospel and he got suspended. I would say, Cheryl, he did more than just tell his gospel. I think you could share your gospel, but he also refused to follow the rules that are within his school district. So I don't know if you're.
He didn't get suspended for his gospel. He got suspended for breaking the rules.
See, Caleb says exactly not a big deal. Deon Curry hit the nail on the head. So Caleb agrees with you on this one. All right. Well, I'm glad we talked this out. Looks like everybody, at least on the panel, is in agreement on this one. Warren kind of kept his attitude in check on this one. I'm happy to see that.
Hilarious.
Stand up for yourself, Warren. You gotta take that.
Hilarious.
Warren is never ever bullied on this show. You can stop trying to be the freaking instigator over here in the middle, Deon.
I'm just saying.
You ain't saying nothing.
I wouldn't let you talk to me like that.
Hey, Warren, what's our top 5? Did you have a top 5 you came up with?
You know what? I didn't throw it past you guys, but it's going to be a top 5 changes that you want to make in your own personal life.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to still run with it. You want to still run with it?
I mean, let's do it off the fly. All right, folks,
And
we're
also-
all doing this off the fly. Top 5 changes you would like to make in your personal life.
Now, it's going to sound like I'm joking now, but I'm not. I would like to yell less. That's on the page. But again, I have children, and there are times, you get short. It's a long day. It's a short day. They're doing something weird you don't like. You've asked them not to do this 100 times, and you snap. I want to, and instead of just saying this is something like I want $1 million, I'm talking about something you are actively trying to change. So I'm trying to yell less. I've been reading more, and some of the people I'm reading, I disagree with your parenting 3,000%. But every now and then they'll throw one thing and you go, okay, I can do that.
All right, okay, all right. And folks, as usual, share along if you have any things that you would like to change in your life. This is kind of a personal one, so if you don't want to share, I get it. But if you can, then please do. And feel free to call in. Use that link that's above our heads there. You can call in and share your list with us as well too. Deon, what you got? Anything come to you?
Yes, I would like to be more organized. I am a chaotic person by nature. It's not comfortable for me to be in a non-chaotic environment. So I would love it if I could have a little bit more discipline when it comes to organization and keeping things in somewhat order. Even though I know what's going on and I have it in my head, but to have it in the physical realm, to be organized as well as it is organized in my brain, I think that would help me tremendously. So yeah, I would love to be a little bit more organized and disciplined.
This is a tough one for me because I really don't have anything I want to change.
We've written a list for you.
I don't do it. Deon wouldn't like my house bed, Cheryl says. Caleb says More education, yell less, learn a trade, keep the 200 pounds off that I've lost, get married. Caleb, did you answer my question earlier? Aren't you headed off to boot camp soon? Cassandra also says, I literally told my kids I was going to do the same thing as Warren. And someone says,
Boot camp will do all those things, by the way, for you.
yes. And then
Keep
Facebook
that
user here
200
says,
off.
I can help you there, D. So someone can help
That's
you with.
that's Michelle.
Is
She
that okay?
can't help me. Yeah,
Oh,
she's great at organizing.
and Michelle knows how bad you are at being organized. And I didn't want to say anything, but not only have you stayed at my house, but we shared the hotel room. So yes, I personally, on a personal level of brotherly love, would love it if you got more organized.
Last time I buy you Domino's.
All right, let me try to think of something here I would do. You know what? See, I hesitate to say this. I guess I would. I don't know if I would change this though, but sometimes I feel like maybe it's a problem. I don't like to lose. That's like it's a tough thing for me to lose. But then I feel like people who are okay with losing are just losers. So so
Write a bit about that.
can I write that down? Maybe I would like to.
Bit.
Here's the thing that you need to understand with that, Sidney. It's okay to lose at things that don't matter.
It all matters.
No, it doesn't. Not everything needs to matter.
I don't know.
If you lose at guess who's not gonna give a fuck? The rest of the world. Nobody cares but you.
So I do care. I do.
That's not a burden you need to carry with you, brother.
I remember being like 6 years old. I don't know if I told this story or not on the podcast, but I remember being 6 years old and you guys met my cousins, the twins. I think you guys sat at the same table.
I sat next to them, yeah.
Yes, and we were playing that game. Warren would definitely remember this game. Sorry, remember that game? Sorry. Yeah. And then they used to have that thing on the commercial when they were sorry, and they beat me one time, and I just took the whole board. I was so mad about it. But I kind of dig that side of myself though, because I always want to win. I don't. Yeah, losing is not an option for me. I hate it. I hate it. But okay, maybe that's a deeper thing.
It is an option because it's going to happen, and the sooner you're okay with it, when it doesn't matter, the better off you'll be.
All right,
because this is what'll happen when you lose at things that aren't important. When you do end up having something that is important to you and you lose it, you'll know how to handle it better. You'll be a better coper. It'll help you recoup faster. Whereas if you never ever lose and then you finally lose, you're going to be destroyed. And it's going to take you a lot longer to be like, God damn, why can't I get over this one loss? I always win at everything. And you're going to take that one loss that you should be able to get over because you've lost before and you realize it's not as big as a deal as you think it is. And you'll bounce back much quicker, stronger, and faster the next time you go to do something. But if you carry that burden of losing on things that don't matter, that's going to weigh you down when it does matter.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to our next one. To everybody's, I don't want to just stay bogged down on this. Warren, what is your number 2 thing that you would like to change, sir?
To agree with Deon, I think that 10 years from now, you'll probably look at it differently. Guess who won't be as important? You will have moved on to a new game.
All right. Okay.
Like maybe Old Maid.
I haven't played any Old Maid in so long. I forgot about that game.
Something I think all three of us have slight issues with. Sometimes how I deal with my anger, in the sense of now, I'm not slapping fools in the street anymore. But maybe it's because the opportunity hasn't presented itself lately, which is good. But there's something that Tony Robbins had said that I'm trying to do. He said when it comes to being angry at something, he says he tries to allot himself a certain amount of time to be in that angry mode about it and then go past it, which is it's hard for me to let go of it. You guys saw how happy I was. That lady actually called me back just to say, you were right. That guy was way out of line on the phone. So that's something I'm actively trying to change, but it's a thing for me, so I'm working on it.
Deon?
I like being mad. Being mad gets me motivated.
No, wait a minute, not Deon. Go ahead.
I don't know if This is a physical thing I wish I could change. My eyesight is terrible. I have terrible vision. I've had terrible vision since second grade. I would love to get LASIK surgery so I don't have to wear glasses anymore. I can't see. I think I'm legally blind without my glasses. I can see colors. I can't read anything unless it's like literally right here in my face. So
Have you tried
I would.
contacts?
I used to wear contacts, but I just taking them in and out every day and ordering more. It's just easier with glasses. So
All right. Okay. I'm
I
gonna
would
read
love
some
to
of the,
get better vision.
I'm gonna read some of the master debaters comments here. Victoria is with us. Victoria, what's up to you and Jake and the fam? Hope you guys are well. She says, number one, try not to stress this much. So she's a stressor. Let's see here. Facebook user says sometimes it comes down to where you can choose to be right or you can choose the relationship. Caleb says, damn, Sidney Smith has that competitive complex, LOL. And you know what, Caleb? I'm going to say this since I'm reading your comment. I really don't know where it comes from. Neither my sperm donor or my mother are very competitive. I was the oldest of my mothers for kids. I really don't. It's just I don't know, by nature for whatever reason. I don't know where it comes from. I've always been this way for as long as I can remember. Victoria says, number two, my way of doing things around the house is not the only way. As long as they are helping me, it's okay. Victoria, I would agree and disagree with you. I would agree with you because I love that you think that way. I would also say don't set your children up for failure, especially the boys, because one day they're going to be married, and the way that the wife likes to do things is the way things should be done. And just let's keep any arguments out of the household. So don't. I would love to do some things differently around here, but I like my wife to be happy. So a lot of things we do her way because it helps her out with that. All right, go to my second one, and I'll keep reading your guys' comments that you're sharing. So please keep sharing them. Mine would probably be this: is to stop feeling like I need to carry people who don't deserve to be carried. I've always had people in my life when I was young and even now who that you irritate the shit out of me, and but I will carry not a lot, but there will be a certain amount of guilt that I will feel initially because if I drop you, because I feel like I need to carry you because I'll make excuses for you. So I'm getting better about it, and I want to continue to get better about being that type of person because yeah, I don't care for it. I don't care for carrying people. Warren?
I'm surprised that you feel that way because you're a quick. I'm not carrying you. I've
There's
seen you
I,
cut dead weight quickly before.
yeah, but there's people that related to or I feel like are family, and I should have cut your ass loose along. I always say this, and I said this before on a wait one more thing. I always feel like when you cut people or you close that door that's supposed to open does open for you. Sometimes that door that you're waiting to open doesn't open because you're too busy with your foot over in this door behind you trying to help people come through that crack in the door.
Gotcha.
And sometimes you finally pull your foot out, then you know you gotta go. And that's part of it. But the other part of it for me is that a lot of times when you holding that crack open for those people, those aren't people who really deserve to have that crack in the door open for them anyway. And so I just need to get better about certain things like that. Like I've said on the show as well, like my thought of trying to make my climb was always to make that climb with people I started with, and people like that. But that's why I got the new phrase, if you will. I'm out of the people changing business. That business is boarded up. The doors are locked. No one works there anymore because now I just accept you for who you are, and if that's who you are, then I leave you where you are. And so
Thanks,
yeah.
Obama.
That's the way that goes. So, but in general terms, Warren, you are absolutely right. I will cut your throat normally and not have a problem with it. And I may even stay around and watch you bleed and choke on your blood before I get in
I've
my
seen you
car
do
and
it.
drive over the top of you. So you see me do it. Are you going back to that? Are you about to be my Tony Mac?
Yes, I was there. I was there.
Hey man, you screwed up my project, man.
They did. They did.
All right. I'm one of my favorite things I love about Jay-Z, and I did not used to always be a Jay-Z fan, and I like his music, but I've grown to like him more, his business mind, his acumen. And I was watching this documentary. I thought it was VH1 or BET, but these older rappers who he kind of helped bring him up. One of them, I can't remember who it was, but he was complaining because he said, "Oh, Jay-Z's the kind of guy who, you take him under your wing and you give him information, and then he takes that information and just leaves you behind." Well, that's what he's supposed to do. That's what you were a mentor. He was the mentee. You shared with him. He took your information and he flipped it and he turned it into something. Because you couldn't go along on the ride, probably was your own fault. But that's what he was supposed to do. You sound like a selfish son of a bitch to me. So I always enjoy Jay-Z for that fact.
Interesting. I would think that I helped you with some stuff. You'd hopefully help me with some stuff later if it came up. Hopefully.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Someone can help me with some things, and it can be great, and then I can want to help you with some things. But if your things don't align with my things, or your things are knucklehead, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. This is where I leave you.
I agree with that totally. But I'm thinking of personal people I know. I'm like, oh, you're a comic. I'm a comic. I helped you do this. You nothing? Yeah, I'm okay. And I'm still funnier. Yeah, I said it. Let's go to my next one.
Okay. So we about to get deep.
Something I don't, or I want to stop doing, or I want to start doing. What's the word? Building my brand. Like for instance, anyone who knows Sidney. He's a hustler. And I'm that dude where most honestly, sometimes I don't even want to tell people I have the show. Sometimes I just want to show up, be funny, work on my stuff, be funny. But I realize the way the world is, you got to push some sort of brand. You got to push. And I sometimes like, I'm okay just being funny. But I don't want to be. I want to be, because I don't want Sid to call me a loser then. Can't have that. Got to work on this brand now.
No, man. You one of my plastic cup boys. How can I call you a loser? Deon.
I'm just gonna tell you this, Warren. Don't give Sidney any advice.
Any information?
He just got done. I'm tired of carrying you. What? You gave me some information I can flip it to you, and now I gotta carry you with some more information? I ain't doing that shit.
Oh my God.
That's good to know.
My gosh.
Cutting dead weight, he said. Right.
You two
all makes sense.
You two, as of today, are not dead weight. You hear me?
Good to know. Good to hear.
All right, Deon, what is your real one, you jerk?
I need to. This kind of falls into what Warren was saying about building his. I need to put in more effort into the things that I like. I need to get out of my complacency of I know what I can do. I'm one of those people that if I know what I can do, I feel no desire to make other people aware of what I can do unless they challenge me. And what I'm realizing is that sometimes you have to prove yourself to other people, regardless of whether you want to or not. And at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt me to prove myself, right? That's something I really wrestle with is like, oh, I don't feel the need to go out and prove to people who aren't going to be in my life after this first encounter who and what I am. And reality, by me proving myself to those people who I'm not going to see it, their impression of me is going to spread to other folks that I may never even come into contact with. And it's only going to help me by giving them that impression of me. So that's something that I'm still learning at 36 years old, that like sometimes you just got to prove it to other people for other people. It doesn't always have to be about you specifically. And that if you go out and do what you are capable of doing and other people know that, it helps you in the long run. And for me, that is something that I struggle with tremendously because I don't like having to prove myself to people because I know what I'm capable of. But at the end of the day, if they don't know, then am I missing out on something? And chances are, yeah, you probably are. If you go and prove yourself every single time that you have the opportunity to prove yourself, then I would say the higher percentage of positivity will enter into your life. So,
I like
Sid doesn't call you a loser. Yeah.
call
Well,
either one of you.
I'm not worried about that. He can
Don't
beat me in
don't
sorry
start with
all
me.
day
I didn't
long.
say anything about this.
I'm not going to be upset one bit.
So, um, Michelle Nagata says, I like to get healthier too and own my own home. I love both of those, Michelle, both of those. She also says, as someone who's lost a lot, I can safely say it builds character and endurance. And I have no doubt about that. Michelle, there's certain things that you can't help but lose, whether it be loved ones who pass away, relationships, romantic relationships, because that doesn't work out. And that, especially when you're younger, when you think, oh my God, I'll never love again, all that type of thing. So, yeah, those types of things do build character for sure. And I'm not saying that those things even affected me as much as losing other things, losing that board game, losing the game of basketball, maybe not getting that spot at the club or whatever. But I get your point there. Susie says, spend more time with what makes me happy. Okay, all right, okay. And Susie, is there a short list or a small list of things that make you happy there? Victoria says, number 3, meditate more. And I'm gonna stop right there. Victoria, I'm with you there with the meditate more, and I always hesitate to say meditate more or meditate at all, because when I think of meditation, I think of that whole formal thing. You sit down, you cross your legs, that whole thing. But meditating doesn't have to be just that. And I'm assuming this. This can be just me sitting somewhere quietly and taking a deep breath, because much like Warren, I have my own temper, and so I would like to get better at sitting and just being one with myself. And I think for me, that does actually help me a lot. So I would like to do a better job of finding that time of just sitting and just kind of letting the whole world or letting everyone, letting everything just kind of wash over me for just 10 minutes. And I probably need to get back to trying to do that tomorrow. So, Warren?
I didn't have a fifth one. I didn't have a fifth one. But I feel like just kind of doubling down on the last one. I think it comes down to I need to work more. I need to work harder. Like I like what I like, and the aspects that I need to get better at. Sometimes I just kind of ignore them altogether, which of course no one should do. You find out what you is if you need it. If it's something you need to further yourself and you're not that great at it, learn it. Like I tell everybody, go to YouTube. Someone is telling you how to get better at it incrementally, if not hugely. So I need to work harder, and it's one of those things. It's hard to say out loud. It's hard to say out loud to look people who think, oh, you're doing what you should be doing. You're working hard, and go, no, no, I know me. I should be working harder.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm never going to be against anyone who says they need to work harder. I love when I hear people say that because I think that's a great self awareness. Is, a lot of people don't work hard at all and think they're working as hard as they can
Mm.
and are not self aware enough to realize and then always wonder why me? How come this isn't happening? Why is that? So I love the fact that you're doubling down on that one. Deon, you, sir?
My last one would be I need to procrastinate less. Just because I can wait till the last minute doesn't mean I should wait till the last minute. And that is something that I struggle with tremendously. I am a very wait till the last minute to get something done when if I just took care of it, I would have just as much time to do other things as I did procrastinating and waiting till the last minute. So for me, um, I know I need to be better at organizing my time and using it properly instead of just. So I guess this ties back into my first one of being more organized. So just getting to the thing that I need to get done, just getting it out of the way so that I can go on and enjoy the things that I enjoy. It's more like the ants and the grasshopper analogy, where the ants worked all summer and then come wintertime, the grasshopper's like, "Oh, we're hungry." It was like, "Motherfucker, you saw us working in the summertime, and now you begging for food in the wintertime." And it's like you should have been out here working with us too. I want to be more of an ant and less of a grasshopper.
If I can jump on that, I'm reading something. This guy talks about what he tells people is he goes, "You're not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating." He says, "You have to tell yourself why is this important? Why is this important? Because if I said, hey, meet me tomorrow at 2 when you show up at 2:10, obviously it wasn't that important to you. But if I say, meet me at 2, I'll have $1 million for you, you'd be there 10 minutes early, you'd have a new suit on. So obviously, we can do it. We can be on time, but we have to ask ourselves, okay, why? Why is this important enough to do that? Which I'm working on also.
You know what's funny? I tell people say something similar to that to people all the time. I don't know anybody, and if I offend anybody, you know me. I don't care. But I don't know anybody who's busier than I am. And I almost never ever miss a text or a phone call. If you text me or call me, you are going to hear back from me. On the rarest of occasions, do you not? So nothing burns my ass more than that person who does not do the same thing. And I tell people all the time, oh, did I miss your call? I said, motherfucker, if I was calling you for $1 million, you missed out on $1 million. Answer your phone. Answer your phone. Answer your text message. I guarantee you, you are doing absolutely nothing important unless you're married with kids and you're putting that family time in. And not.
Hello? Hello? I'm doing the show, Sydney. I'm doing the show. What's up, bro? You need something? You good? Oh, you good? All right. I just want to know. I let
Go
you know
ahead
I
and
need
drop
that $1 million.
Deon off the show. So he can take his $1 million call. But yeah, it just I tell people the same thing. All right, let me run through these with everyone's before we get to mine. Cheryl says, "Be more adventurous." Cheryl, I love that one. I'm not sure. Is that something you can change, Cheryl? Do you think you can actually change and become more adventurous? I don't want to. I hesitate to say yes or no. So let me know. Caleb
Actually,
says,
you can. You can
"Same."
take baby steps.
Okay, I'm not saying she can or can't. I was just asking. Caleb says, "Same here." Laugh my ass off. I loathe losing, so Caleb is the same way. Susie says, "Carrying people robs them of the ability and experience to experience consequences. Consequences are important lessons and build character." And I would say this to you, Susie, maybe to some, but sometimes you're carrying people because you know they don't have that. And I believe people don't allow you to even carry them if they know within themselves that they have what you're saying. So I just maybe a slight pushback. Tell me what you think, Susie. Maybe you agree or disagree with me.
As someone who was carried by Susie and was allowed to sleep under her pool table for a little while, I appreciated the carry when I had it.
But did she carry you because she knew you had something in you that and you would be able to
Most definitely.
right pick yourself up? And I'm saying most people who allow themselves to be carried. You were a kid then, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not. I'm not talking.
Somewhat kiddish.
I'm talking about grown people. Kids. Yeah, you carry them. You help them out as best you can until you figure out their lost cause, and you close up the boys' home on them. That's what you do. All right. Cassandra says yell less, so she's still talking about yelling less. Caleb says I cut mostly everyone off like 2 years ago, and it feels awesome. Less bullshit. I like that, Caleb. Carlos says, Sydney, you're right, especially if some of y'all have a side of the family that's just entirely loathsome. Sometimes that's entirely loathsome cretins, like many do. So, Carlos, and I'm not trying to bog down this segment at all, so forgive me, folks. But what you said made me think of something. I just watched Ricky Smiley on, I think DL posted on his IG, so you guys can find it there. I'm gonna be short with it, but Ricky was a little longer with it, but it made all the sense in the world. Your family is who you decide your family is. Your family doesn't have to be people that you're related to by blood. Those can just be people that you're related to by blood. You still have the option to choose your family. You can decide who's your brother. You can decide who's your grandma. He said, you may have a grandmother that treats you like complete shit. But how does that stop you from treating Miss Susie as your grandmother? Going by her house and sitting down for a meal and being told about yourself and, and being able to accept it all because it comes from a place of love. You can dictate who your family is. You don't have to go to a funeral to acknowledge someone you were never close to and never treated you. He said, why are you guys putting yourselves through that? Take your kids to the movies. Take your kids to the movie. Take your kids to the park. You don't have to put yourself through these situations with people you do not have that type of love or those people who don't have that type of love for you. You choose who your family is on this planet, and you choose who you spend your time with. And just a little, he was longer with it. And Carlos, I think you made a great point that took my mind back to that. Victoria says, number 4, start a new career path and do something I absolutely love and brings me joy. Victoria, I love that. I know all three of us love that because that's what the three of us are doing. Facebook user, I'm not sure who this is, but they said, don't let your victory to be your defeat. Don't let celebrate too long on one victory. Move on, grow. Absolutely. I was just talking to a young man about this on Sunday at my show. He was asking me what I thought about the show. How did the show go? I said the show's over. He said, what do you mean? I said I treat every show like it's the first show. Whether it went well, whether it went bad, I celebrate or I wallow in misery for that one show, and we're on to the next show. I don't give a shit whether I'm doing an entire weekend and I had a great set on Thursday. Well, Friday is a whole new day with two different shows. I have a great set on Friday at the beginning show. That's great. Now I have a brand new show to do the second show. So I love that you said that, and I completely agree with that. Whether
That
you
was
win or you
Monica
lose.
Lamb.
What's that?
That was Monica Lamb.
Monica, thank you for sharing that. I completely agree with that sentiment. Michelle Nagata
What's
said,
that saying in comedy? You're only as funny as your last show.
yeah,
You always got to go prove it. So
absolutely, every time. Michelle Nagata said, I would like to make more time for creative outlets for myself and stay consistent with it. I like that. I like that. Again, you're speaking to three creatives. Facebook user says, I just told my husband Sunday that we need to spend more time investing in the friendships we have that we enjoy rather than the people that just want something from us. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to tell you something, Facebook user. Again,
Danae.
Danae. I always, and especially professionally, when people hit me up with a compliment, I accept the compliment, but I just give it 1, 2, 3 heartbeats to figure out what it is you want from me. I'm right there with you. I am to the point that minus these two guys that are on the screen with me, my wife, and maybe 1 or 2 other people, anytime you give me a compliment, I can best be sure that it's because you're asking for something later on down the road.
and knowing
Same
Danae and
conversation.
her writing style, I think what she's saying is they're ready to leave these children.
Get rid of these kids.
That's what she's saying.
Get rid of these kids. Cassandra says, yell less. That's the third time you said that, Cassandra. Man, you over there wearing them kids and that husband out. She says, yell less, be in the moment, follow through with everything I say I would do, which is one of my favorite things. Gain weight, all right? Do things I like even if I have to do it alone. All right, okay. Kathleen says 3, stop letting fear of failing keep me from trying. 2, read more, research. 1, start working less. Stop chasing money and focusing more on time with children. Mine are almost grown and I'm finally to the point where I really don't need to work 2 jobs, etc. And I've missed so much. Kathleen, I love the fact that you have recognized that your kids are almost grown because a lot of people don't and think that these adult children are going to be and want to be around you forever, and they do not. And the other thing that happens, and I see this happen a lot with parents, moms or dads, they have an even bigger issue when those kids not only become adults, but now they have families of their own. They have wives and husbands of their own, kids of their own. They don't have time to come and hang out with you every weekend or be on the phone with you all day. You're supposed to let those kids leave the nest and go build their own nest someplace. And I see a lot of parents that have an issue with that. So I love that you are recognizing that in yourself. Cheryl says, yeah, I think I can. So Cheryl says she believes she can become more adventurous. I hope you do. I hope you can. And I only ask if you could because sometimes I worry about whether I'm able to do what I'm getting ready to say here last once I'm done reading through these here. Victoria says, number 5, start working on saving and preparing to buy a house. I'm extremely excited for that next chapter in our lives. No one in my family has ever owned their own home, but I'm prepared to break that cycle and show our children it is possible. And I'm going to give you an applause break on that, Victoria. And
on closing day, walk in with a Mexican flag, go right to the table, sign it.
You can. It's your house. So do whatever you want in your house. I tell people all the time, you don't like it, get the fuck up out of here. You do it because this is what happens here at the Smith household. You do what you want at your house. I love that Victoria says that because home ownership is such an important thing. Most people in this country will never have more wealth in their entire lives than they would if they had bought a house. And the things that come with that, especially if you buy in the right area, the equity, so on and so forth. So I love it, and not enough of us are doing it. And when I say us, I mean minority. So jump out there and let the kids see that it can be done. And let them know that they can do it too. Cassandra said, I deleted that last comment, so sorry it still came up. No worries. Susie says, I carried Warren because he needed help, but he's not under the pool table today because it was a hand up, and that's different than continue to cripple people with your own ego and help. And you are right about that there, ma'am.
Cheer up here.
Are you? You need a moment?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Victoria says, I'm with you completely. Facebook user, Warren, I need them to take care of me when I'm old. I'm tired of the people who only call when they want my
Danae.
soft expertise without even a thank you or Danae, that's the great thing. Hello? Hello. So, Sidney, I was looking for you. Motherfucker, can you ask me how I'm doing first or something? Or anything? And then Cheryl says, your kids are more likely to spend time with you as adults if you spend time with them as kids. If they want to. Don't try to make it a requirement. I do agree with you, Cheryl. So my last and final one is loosen up. And I hesitate on that one because I don't quite know if I'm able to. You know, even when I go on vacation, I think I've said this before, you know, there is an itinerary with the vacation. So I see Deon shaking his head. So I'm not quite sure if I can loosen up. Some things just may be in your DNA, and this is just who I am. I'm not sure if I would be happy without an itinerary. I would think I would be very bothered if I didn't have one, because I know I'm bothered when other people don't have one, which is probably why I quarterbacked my own wedding. Go ahead.
To quote a very famous white bitch, let it go.
All right, let's go to our Wait One More Thing. And thank you guys for joining us. We're going to do our Wait One More Thing segment and get you guys out of here. What you got, Warren B. Hall?
It seems that the same. What I notice in life is that we're always asking questions, assessing ourselves. Am I doing this right? Does this girl like me? Am I doing okay on stage? Am I yelling at this kid enough? We're always asking ourselves stuff. And I've found for me, I'm one of those people where when something is suggested, like recently, the wife suggested something, and it's like sadly, I have the grumpy answer first. It's like I shut it down first. Like no, 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 we're not doing that. And then a couple days later, I'm like, I was right. That's probably a better idea. And then I roll with it, and I hate that it takes me that long. So my wait more thing is ask yourself, what is it costing you? What is it costing you? For instance, this latest one, it's so dumb when you look at it now. It's the treadmill. We've rearranged the basement, have our own little workout place, and I'm bothered because I was told this is going to be my area, the basement. This is my man cave, and I have no control anywhere else in any other room in the house. If I put a doily up, it gets burnt. You know, not even taken down, just burnt. So I was like, this is my area. Thought we were going to do it like I wanted to do it. So long story short, she was like, well, after we moved everything around, this new treadmill we got, it's industrial. It's huge. It can only go one place, and that is definitely in my area, my room. That's the only place it can fit. So we got to the point where like, well then I'll sell it. Well then sell it. Right? So then I'm sitting and I'm looking at this thing and I ask myself, what is it costing me to put it over here? And in all honesty, the feng shui is all jacked up now. But I'm getting in shape. I'm getting the fitness that I want, that I said I wanted. This is what I wanted. So why let the fact that it doesn't look exactly how I hoped it would look, why let that take away the bigger, more important dream of me getting back on track with my physicality? So sometimes you got to ask yourself, what is it really costing you? Is it really costing you?
Brother, it is costing you, all right? You die a little bit inside. And I want Caleb, I don't believe is married yet. Deon, I know is not married. I'm not sure if Carlos is or not. But you should know something. You're going to meet that woman that you love, and you love her. You want to have a family with her. But there's a cost to everything. And the cost is you're going to die a little bit inside. She's going to tell you that you can have this or that this is going to be the way that you want it to be. And just when she knows she's got you, she's going to flip this fucking script on you. I don't want a garden in my backyard. But you know what I got in my backyard? There's a garden. There's onions and other things being grown in my backyard. I don't want a damn garden. I don't want any damn pets. You know what? You got a dog and you got a cat already. Fine. Now you know what I got? I got 2 fucking turtles walking around in my backyard. And I love my wife, but I have to accept I'm dying a little bit inside every day.
For the men who
and
don't know, we'll tell you it starts in the closet. Because one day she's not gonna ask. She's just gonna take a little more than
brother, yeah.
50% of the closet, and you'll let it slide, and then it just you're laughing because you don't
I'm
know.
laughing because y'all some suckers.
And then, no, I'm not. No, because
You
it's
know
not
what's
the
in my closet? You know what's in my closet? Whatever the fuck I want in my closet. You know what's in
look.
my room? Whatever the
Okay.
fuck I want
I,
in my room.
what
And
I'm
it's going to stay that way. And guess what,
all I'm
baby? If it's my stuff for you, guess what was with me in the beginning? My stuff.
all all I'm saying is you're gonna meet that woman that you love enough to let her, as you put it, make you into a sucker. so Brooke hit Warren with the, oh, we're gonna do this, we gonna do that, that's gonna be private area. And then the next, soon as she got a chance to flip it on him, oh, you know what? I got this industrial sized machine that can't go anywhere else but over here. Sorry, it's going to make some changes. So that's all I'm saying. You get the,
And
you
they frame it. They frame it like it's your choice. It's your
oh,
choice
oh,
if you
out
want
all
to do
day,
this, and it's like
all
it's
day,
not my choice.
Sucker.
This
all
is not
day,
my choice.
Sucker.
all day.
I'm
Sucker.
like that dude in the movie where I got the rubber band. I'm snapping myself. This was not your choice. This was not your choice. The pain lets me know what's real.
I'm pretty sure some of my old draws, that some of my favorite draws, have been thrown away, and it wasn't by
Burnt.
me. All right,
Burnt.
I've had them draws since 2001. All right, they weren't doing anything. They were hurting anybody. They were clean. They did not need to be thrown away.
This is how I know I'm gonna be by myself forever.
And Michelle shares. She says, "LOL, I hijacked my husband's man cave area too." So see, it's everywhere. It happens everywhere. Someone said such a romantic. I think they're talking about you there, Warren. Cheryl says, my stuff takes up all the space. I have no room for any man. So Cheryl says, Cheryl says, you can come by, but you can't stay. Victoria says, Jake has more closet space and drawers. LOL, I learned to deal with it. Victoria, we'll talk about this in a year. After a year of marriage, we'll see where things are at. Jake, I hope
See
you
right now doing this.
yeah. Jake, I hope you're listening because you're about to have a lot of your shit bagged up, homeboy, between now and this time next year. She says he has T-shirts, I swear, from high school. All right, Deon, what is your wait? One more thing. Oh yes, this is how.
Oh, the tie-in.
Yes,
The reveal.
yes, the big reveal.
Own your mistakes. Own your mistakes. So at the beginning of the show, we talked about this kid draping the flag around his shoulders, and I was saying, who did it hurt? Who did it hurt? It didn't hurt anybody. But what mistake was made? It went against the protocol. It went against the rules, if you will. So when you go against the grain, when you buck the trend, when you are stepping outside of the norm, you have to own everything that comes with it. Like this teacher who's trying to get reinstated. No, you got to own your shit. You are the one that quote unquote broke the rules. So now you got to own it. You can't be, oh, I didn't know that it was going to go like this. And I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to call. You knew what you were doing. You knew when you put that flag over your shoulders that they weren't going to let you have your diploma. Don't tell me you didn't, because you know you did. Just like this teacher knew that he was going to get in trouble the second he opened his mouth about spreading the gospel. So you got to own your mistakes. I got to own the things that I said I was going to do and then I didn't do them, or vice versa. You have to own it. Before you can get sympathy from anybody else, you got to own what you did to cause sympathy being needed in the first place. And if you don't do that, then guess what? You're never going to have that peace that you're looking for, that you're hoping for, that someone extends to you. You're not getting it. So you got to own your mistakes. Was it a mistake for Warren to agree to that treadmill? Absolutely. Guess what, Warren? You got to own it now, buddy. You got to own it now. Was it Sydney's mistake to allow those animals in the house? Guess what? Now you got turtles in the backyard, and you better order some pizza and get Master Splinter on the line. All I'm saying is own your mistakes. And I'm trying to be a champion of owning my own mistakes. I know I'm not perfect. I know I make mistakes. I know that I do things that in retrospect I probably shouldn't have done that. But guess what? You know what I never do? I never blame anybody else. I always go, you know what? You did that, and now you got to deal with whatever wave comes your way. So if you want to swim, you got to get wet.
That's good. I don't really have a wait. One more thing. I want to just thank everybody who came and on with us tonight. I know it's not our usual night. I want to thank my two brothers who made time to be on. with us tonight. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't feel like doing this tonight at all. But I definitely didn't feel like doing the show on Monday. We didn't do the show on Monday because I just wasn't mentally, spiritually, physically even into doing this show on Monday. I've been dealing with a lot over the last few weeks, which I'm not going to go into all of it and everything right here, right now, but it just weighed on me when I woke up Monday. It actually weighed on me all Sunday for my show. Wife and a lot of people came up to me, asked me if I was okay, but just couldn't do the show. So I want to thank you guys for being understanding. I want to thank you guys for supporting the show the way you do. Again, these two, yes, sir, Warren.
I almost poked the bear with that issue because I was going to say last week we spoke about old girl who said she needed a mental day and didn't want to talk to the media. And I was like, do you feel the same now? Because you had a situation where you felt like, you know what, I need a day. I know I said we're doing this on Monday. Monday was the rule. We all know how we're doing it. But I need this day. And I wondered if that made you understand maybe how she felt a little bit.
No, because I'm not contractually obligated. If we were contractually obligated to do the show on Monday, I've been here and done the show on Monday, but we're not contractually obligated to do it. And when I said to you guys, because I didn't tell you guys I wasn't doing it, I said to you guys,
Your blood pressure.
No, I'm saying, I said to you guys, do you guys mind if we don't do it? And you both
And
said,
we said no problem.
right. So if you had said, no, I really want to do it.
The reason why we said we don't have a problem is because you said you needed it.
No,
That's why we said we didn't.
But that's fine. But I didn't want to do the show today either. But because I said, but I'm going to go ahead and do the show this week for our Master Debaters and do the show for you guys to make sure we do it. I didn't feel like doing it tonight, as I opened up with. But
we are just now hearing that you didn't feel like doing the show tonight.
I know
didn't
because
mention that earlier.
it's right. I didn't say a word about it.
Again, had you said something,
But
we
I
would have
didn't.
accommodated.
I didn't because I would get the show done. You guys trying to argue for an argument here. I'm just trying to get my weight one more thing, you two assholes. And I love Morris. I was going to poke the bear, and then he goes in and pokes the bear anyway.
Because he knew he had backup.
Wasn't I was going to
You
poke
don't
the
gotta-
bear. I'm
you
going to poke the bear.
You
So
don't got to outrun the bear, Warren. You just got to outrun me.
so anyway,
Break his legs.
I want to thank you guys, our Master Debaters, for supporting the show the way you do. Again, you could be doing anything on Mondays. You definitely could be doing anything else today on Wednesday. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah,
Cedric says, bullshit, y'all made a contract with us Master Debaters, damn it.
Get him, Master Debaters.
I am so sorry, Cedric, but I signed that contract with Invisible Ink. So, or Disappearing Ink, rather. Anyway.
We do owe our Patreon members. We do owe them.
We do. So all right, that's all I wanted to say before anyone else picks on me. Cheryl says everyone needs to take a break sometimes. Victoria says, I'm glad you took the day off for yourself. Cassandra says, well, we appreciate you showing up. Thank you, Cassandra. Cassandra, I wish that's what these two assholes had to say, but they did not. I love all of you guys. Thank you guys very much. We have not heard from too many of you guys, but if anyone else is out there experiencing anything or dealing with anything, as always, we are here. Hit us up privately if you feel like you can. If you don't have anyone else that you can lean on, we are here for that. I know we've done it for people in the past. Deon and I have done it specifically. Warren is also a great person for that as well. So we are here for that if you feel like you need it. Other thing I think I need to plan is another Zoom call. So we need to do that as well. Maybe a Zoom game night. I know we've been promising that since January. So we'll try to get that done. All right, getting a little wordy here towards the end. Love you all. Thank you all. We will see you guys next Monday for sure. Have yourselves. Oh, go ahead.
Don't forget to share the show. Podcast listeners, share it with your friends, everybody in the group. Add somebody to the group today. I added like 12 people over the weekend. So let's grow this community, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. We argue on the show, but the three of us love each other wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Warren, you good?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm glad we did this.
Oh, one more thing. A special shout out to James Alex, who we met at Victoria and Jake's wedding. He joined us tonight after we got to talk to him at the wedding and told him about the show. He's on with us tonight. So
is he on with us tonight?
Yes, he is on with us tonight. So I want to send a special thank you, James.
Thanks, man.
Checking out the show and joining the community. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, hopefully, as well. All right, everyone. Have yourselves a great week and a better weekend. We'll see you.
All right.